All right, man. Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who rule and teach well. The home of this truth, okay? And to the other Akim out here pushing the truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. We almost out of here. Now, I'm going to go into this lesson on how these wars and these rumors of wars are going to produce more wars because the scriptures talk about it. The scriptures talk about the war of all wars, which is, World War III. Okay, and I'm gonna open up with the scripture to go into that. What's actually happening right here, right now, before our eyes, whether we can see it or not. Football, basketball is blinding a lot of people from seeing what's actually going on in the world. Okay, this is Joel 3, and these are the times that we're in right here, right now. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So you have Russia at war with Ukraine. Ukraine is an ally of America. You just had Palestine and Israel to go to war. Israel is an ally of America. If you're not an ally of America, you're going to ultimately become an ally of Russia, okay? And America and Russia is going to have the world's armies basically to pick either side, and that's going to be World War III, all right? And it's prophesied right here in Joel, the 3rd chapter, okay? Hold on. First, I'm going to go down to verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So what's ultimately going to happen is you're going to have smaller nations, other nations that have chips on their shoulders with different nations, or even going against Russia, or even going against America, and they're going to stand up because they have superpowers as allies, okay? Russia's allies have her, and America's allies have her. But now these smaller nations are able to have a fucking voice and actually stand up in the times that we in and be like, well, you know what? I don't like this person. I don't like that person. And don't quote me on this, but I think it was India or North Korea that rescinded their peace agreement. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Okay, let me see. I don't think it's North Korea. Let me look and see if it's India. But basically, everybody's the Lord has everybody in a spirit of war. Okay, people people want blood, and it's basically what the Lord has put out. India tells China peace needed on border for better ties. China brokered Saudi peace deal will help India. All right, but you have different, and that's not even what I was looking for. Matter of fact, let me keep looking. So you have so much going on, man. 70 years after the armistice, the Korean Peninsula still struggles for peace. A Korean peace treaty would be an unforced blunder. Okay, so look, you basically have nations that want to get at each other, and they're going to get at each other because the Lord has put out his spirit and his vibration upon the world. The Lord is going to make these people go to war with one another, and I'm going to back that up with the scripture real quick. Okay, let's get Proverbs 21:1. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. And the king's heart is the king's mind. So when these different leaders of the nation do things that seem provocative, that seems warmongering, that seems like they want blood, that's the Lord controlling them. That's the Lord allowing prophecy to come into play. Okay. And at the end of the day, I don't know if you guys caught it or not. When you go back to Joel, the 3rd chapter, and it was talking about Jehoshaphat, the reason that these nations are going to be judged is why and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel. He's coming to set everything back the way that it's supposed to be. Okay, he's going to put us on top. He's going to do away with that American westernized worldly educational system that teaches that we was nothing but slaves and this is the best life that we're living right here, right now in America and all of those things. And he's going to judge those people for that. Okay, now the world is about to be fully at war. Now we're going to go into a couple of other consequences of being at war. Now this is typed into Google. What are the four things that can disrupt the supply chain? The supply chain is how you get your goods and services, okay? You're basically your food and your products. The following are the typical factors that may create these interruptions. And I'm reading this for a reason too. Pandemics, natural disasters, logistics delays and failures, price fluctuations, cyber attacks, product problems. Okay, let me get another one. How is the war in Ukraine affecting supply chain? Supply chain snarls and rising prices. Hundreds of ships laden with wheat and corn have been stranded at the Ukrainian ports as the war restricts shipping in the Black Sea, leading to food shortages and inflation around the world. Now that's just 2 countries. Now just imagine when you have 10 countries involved, 15 countries involved, 8 countries involved, 20 countries involved. All right, you're gonna have blowback. Okay, you're gonna have ports that are going to be empty because you're not going to have any workers there, and you're going to be inside of a war area, and no workers trying to be delivering in and out of a wartime area. Get their ass blown up, and it's going to lead to what? It's going to lead to starvation. Okay, let me read this. 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? So what we're seeing is the beginnings of these things happening, all right? Now, we're telling you with confidence that more countries are going to jump into this war, and they're going to pick sides, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. The reason that we're able to do this with confidence is because we know how to read the Bible, and we know how to break it down, okay? Because we were taught by guys that were guided by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ and God, okay? So you just watch, sit in your seat, and see if these things come to pass. Okay, surely they will tarry, but they will come to pass. Though it tarry, it will come to pass. It's taking time. You're probably saying, you guys been saying it all these years, but it will come to pass without you and with or without your belief. Let me get a scripture real quick on that. Romans 3 and 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? God forbid. Okay, so just because you don't believe doesn't mean that these things are not coming to pass. All right, now back to 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. I'm gonna go to verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Okay, so the reason that these people, 2/3 of our people and the other nations are gonna be getting judged like this is because the things that they did to us. Okay, this is the Lord in the spirit of what? Recompense. So famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish, that's basically going into what? All holy hell, straight chaos up on the earth, man. Okay, because of war, you're gonna have homes, okay, in each country's respective country without men to take care of those homes. You're gonna have jobs that need men to run those jobs that's not gonna be run. Okay, you're gonna have supply chains that's not gonna be met. So you're gonna have rampant crime with a bunch of youngsters and dummies and hungry people in the streets trying to survive. All right, you're gonna have break-ins. You're going to have home invasions. It's going to be at an all-time high with people looking for food, people looking for women, and people that's just addicted to that power, that little power that they're going to have, because they're all going to have a little bit of power because 911 isn't going to respond. The light's going to be out, and their actions shall stand in the course of their own powers, okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to get that real quick. And I probably said it wrong. That's why I'm going to just go ahead and read it. sec. I know it's all right. It's Second Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So you're going to have people hit the streets, and they're going to hit the streets with weapons, and they're going to kill one another. And when it says it's going to be sedition among men, invading one another, just like I told you, they're going to be spoiling one another, robbing one another, killing one another, raping one another, capturing one another. All right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes. So they're not going to regard the laws of the land. They're not going to regard the government. So when the government tell you to go to this, you have a 9 o'clock, a 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock curfew. They're not going to respond to it. Don't come on the streets. They're not going to respond to it. So whatever the government tells them, they're not going to do it for a short season. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power, and they will not be caught. All right. They're not going to have any answers. They're not going to have to answer for the things that they did during this time period. Okay. And you just really, really should scare you, man, knowing that in America, with all of these guns and nobody to hold it back, with all the lights out and everybody's hungry as hell and had their own agenda, it should kind of scare you, and it should sober you up and make you want to have a hedge of protection around you, spiritually speaking. That's if you believe. You have to be a believer, though. Most people don't even believe that these things are going to happen. All right, so that supply line is going to be broken down. All right, going back into the scriptures where it says the grinding shall cease. You're not going to have anybody to go to the power plants. You're not going to have anybody to go to these different jobs. Okay, these different what they call them, their necessities, what they call the first responders and all that. You're not going to have that. Nobody's going to be there to work them. The men and the young men are going to be overseas, going to war. Over here, you're going to have different types of wars. You're going to have class wars, food wars. Man, let me get another scripture to go into what I just said about that division. Let's see, hold on, it's Matthew. About to grab it 1 second, okay. This is Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And that sword goes into division. And what kind of division is he sending up on earth? You got the Republicans, the Democrats. All right. You got people that believe in Christianity, people that believe in atheism, Muslims. So you got religion. You have politics, of course. You have even food, man. So it's a lot of division. You can't even talk politics and religion at a family gathering without something going down. But the times that we're living into, it's going to get real nasty. And that's the vibration, and that's the spirit that the Lord wants on this place, because this place is ripe for war. Okay, because war is this place's judgment. Verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So these are going to be different trains of thought, different belief systems, okay? And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. And they're going to kill each other, they're going to go after each other, they're going to turn one another in. And these are going to be a lot of the people, the biological family of the prophets are going to be coming after them, okay? Whether they knowingly or unknowingly understand the outcome that's going to happen from them turning over those prophets or whatnot. But man, look, it's going to be more wars. There's going to be more drawbacks from the wars, okay? It's going to be more famine, or just more pestilence, and you have to understand this is spiritual. So the Lord is just going to turn up these judgments more and more and more and more, and it's going to get worse. And then you're going to be able to say, you know what? This is intelligent design. This is the power of the Bible, what the world will call the God of the Bible. This is real, okay? But with that, I want to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Harakwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, the home of the truth, and to the other Akim out here pushing this truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. We almost out of here. Kwam Yashirala, Abal Babal.